One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet who millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Good evening, everybody. Doing a little bit different thing tonight because I don't really know what to expect. President Trump, this dinner is supposed to start at 7:15 or so. I've got some content that I obviously can run with until that starts. But I just want to let you guys know we're just waiting for the stream to come up. Once the stream comes up, we will cut to it and move into that event. But that being said, while we wait, let's talk about something. Something pretty big happened in the last couple hours since we met. I want to bring that to your attention as well right now.
Breaking news into the Fanfare news feed.
Look at this White House now, and it's hard to imagine two FBI agents ending up in the sit room. How did that happen?
I sent them. Something I probably wouldn't have done or maybe gotten away with in a more organized investigation, a more organized administration, in the George W. Bush administration, for example, or the Obama administration. The protocol, two men that all of us have perhaps increased appreciation for over the last 2 years. And in both of those administrations, there was process. And so if the FBI wanted to send agents into the White House itself to interview a senior official, you would work through the White House counsel, and there'd be discussions and approvals and who would be there. And I thought, it's early enough, let's just send a couple guys over.
Yeah, it was all fun and games, wasn't it, James? It was a lot of fun. You thought you caught President Trump being naive, a little wet behind the ears, not that smart, and you thought you guys could get in there and be completely unscathed. Interesting. Let's continue.
And so we placed a call to Flynn, said, hey, we're sending a couple guys over. Hope you'll talk to them. He said, sure. Nobody else was there. They interviewed him in a conference room at the White House Situation Room, and he lied to them. And that's what he's now pled guilty to.
What did he think they were coming over there for?
I don't think he knew.
So I see I'm getting a little bit of buffering happening. Let me know if it's buffering for you guys or whatever. I'm not really sure what exactly, if it's doing it. I'm going to wait and see if it recovers. Good on my end, but I'm seeing people in the chat saying it's buffering. All right, so it's back. Don't know exactly what is going on there. Let me do this. Let me cut down on the number of devices that I currently have streaming. Maybe that'll do. Maybe I had too many devices streaming, so I cut that down. All right, so he goes over, they go in there, they try to go after Michael Flynn. He doesn't know anything. Either he's too stupid, too green, doesn't understand. They're sending over a couple FBI guys. But this is where it starts to get interesting.
No, we didn't tell him. Just said we got sending over a couple of agents. I want to ask you some questions. I didn't have this conversation. My deputy director did, but hope you got a few minutes. You can sit down and talk to them. And he said, sure.
There are, however, certain points I want you to know. First, I personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant in this matter. Second, the department does not take such a decision lightly.
That was the mistake. You got to go all the way back to when this happened before you realize that was their big mistake. James Comey sent some people over to the White House, said General Flynn, they would know, and the other administration would have caught on, but not Trump's new administration. So they sent people over to the White House. It didn't exactly do what they wanted to do. They got General Flynn fired, but the search warrant at Mar-a-Lago, well, Mar-a-Lago's in Florida. Mar-a-Lago's in Palm Beach, right up the street from me here, Florida. Light bulbs should be going off right now, because if not, they should be. Remember, I told you with the whole thing with Maduro and how things happen in the chronological order in which they did happen. There are two grand juries impaneled down here in South Florida. One in Fort Pierce, which is about 30 miles north of Palm Beach, and then one in Fort Lauderdale. And they've been working very quietly. Very, very quietly. People haven't been paying attention. Even people here in Fanfare. Nobody, it's not in the news, except for today. One of these grand juries down here in South Florida, well, they issued a subpoena to James Comey. Not an indictment, and a subpoena. But that's enough to cause these people to go bat poop crazy, because now they realize this isn't Washington. Those crazy judges up there can't help you. You're going to have to face the music in Florida. And now it's freaking everybody out.
Turning to some news that has broken since we've been on the air, Axios reporting that former director of the FBI, Jim Comey, has been subpoenaed in a wide-ranging grand conspiracy case against the ex-officials who investigated and some who would go on to prosecute Donald Trump. That's according to two sources with knowledge of that situation. The subpoena for Jim Comey was reportedly issued last week and relates to his alleged role in the drafting of a January 2017 intelligence community assessment concerning Russia's election interference that favored Donald Trump. This so-called grand conspiracy case is based in the Southern District of Florida, and it relies on the belief that officials who worked for President Barack Obama and later Joe Biden broke the law back then before they knew who would win the 2016 election.
And it's hard for it to come out of her mouth. What do you mean, Florida? Yep, right down here, right up the street from us, or down the street from us, as the case may be. It's either in Lauderdale or Fort Pierce. So one of those two courts down here has issued a subpoena. You're not going to get the cloak and dagger stuff that you get up in D.C., where you got a fake judge that's going to hold out for you. Now you got to do it down here, and this is going to cause these people to shake in their boots.
To try to undermine Donald Trump from his 2016 election through his federal indictments in 2023. It sounds bat bleep crazy, but it's really happening.
Yeah, it's really happening. And no, it doesn't sound bat bleep crazy. You got away with it for all this time because it was in that jurisdiction. But if you rewind to the piece I just showed you, they did it in Florida. You opened up the door for the jurisdiction to be taken by the Florida grand juries. Not Trump. Trump didn't do it. You went to a judge or magistrate in South Florida to get the warrant to go search Mar-a-Lago, and ergo, that's where the case started. That's where the case is going to be held. And now it's too late. Years later, like, whoa, what happened here? I thought this should be in Washington. Oh, no.
So that's the plan. Caroline Leavitt also took to the podium of the White House briefing room over the summer and described former President Barack Obama as being very much in their sights as part of this investigation. Andrew Weissman, your thoughts?
Well, one really quick thing, just to correct one minor point, which is that John Durham, everything you said about John Durham's investigation is correct, other than he did have 3 prosecutions, one of which was a guilty plea. The 2 that went to trial were acquittals. I just wanted to point that out as a minor correction.
Thank you.
The idea of this grand conspiracy is the way that they can try to get over the problem of the statute of limitations and all.
No, it's not a scheme. It's the law. By alleging, because nobody knows, by alleging that it was a grand conspiracy, the statute of limitations is the word, I guess you would say, is tolled. T-O-L-L-E-D. It is tolled. It did not run out. And so now they're caught with their pants down because they're realizing, oh, well, they found a way around it. Yeah.
So why they can somehow bring this in Florida. The piece about the statute of limitations, to get a little wonky, is something about the conspiracy has to have happened within the last 5 years. So if you're trying to go after Jim Comey or John Brennan for something that happened well past 5 years ago, you have to be able to say that some part of the conspiracy they were part of happened within the last 5 years.
Or part that he's leaving out, obviously for the MSNBC audience, or the conspiracy continues. You see, the statute of limitations can't expire if the conspiracy continues. And he left that part out. That is very big. Anybody will tell you, yeah, it might have happened before, but if it's still going on, there you go, the statute of limitations doesn't run out.
And second, to get it to Florida, they have to somehow say that the Florida Mar-a-Lago case is part of the conspiracy. In other words, there's something that happened in Florida, and that's sort of the only thing I can think of that would be able to tie it to Florida. But remember that.
You think so? That's exactly the issue. Merrick Garland, you want to know what could have happened? Merrick Garland sought a search warrant from a magistrate here in Florida. Now you're looking back and going, oh man, we made a big mistake. That one mistake, I don't know who the attorneys are that caught that and realized, wait a second, they did it in Florida. They didn't get a judge from Washington, D.C. or New York to sign off on the search warrant. They got a judge in Florida to sign off on it. Ergo, Florida has jurisdiction, even if it's a federal matter.
Is a case where a federal judge signed off on that search, and even Judge Cannon, I believe, in connection with motions there, rejected the idea that the defendant who made the claim that it was a sort of selective or vindictive prosecution. So I'm not really sure how they're going to claim that. Plus, it's going to put back on the table the validity of that case. I mean, this is something that Judge Cannon, as Glenn pointed out, really sort of made clear that was never going to see the light of day. Donald Trump tried to have that never see the light of day. Well, if this case goes forward, it's going to put front and center the Mar-a-Lago case, which, I'm not saying that John Brennan and Jim Comey or anyone else should be made as sacrificial lamb for that. But you sort of wonder about the strategy here of putting back on the table something that the Trump administration tried mightily, with some help from many people, to not have it ever go to court.
They're really worried. Excuse me. I got a kick out of it because I watched that today, and I watched how it unfolded, and I watched how everybody was talking about it and how they were terrified of what was really happening. Just the mere, not an indictment, just the mere fact that a subpoena was issued against James Comey for a grand conspiracy investigation. You probably won't hear many people talking about it because right now Depends are going to sell quite a bit in Washington and across the country. And I some of these people think this is trying to get after what's the guy's name? Brennan. They think it's no. None of these guys are going to want to serve any time. None of them. And so the fact of the matter that finally James Comey, whatever they threw out of the case in New York, now James Comey has to come in and not talk to an attorney, not do a deposition. He has to testify, hand up, in front of a grand jury. That is a whole different ballgame. And all this stuff, all these videos, all these comments, everything that's been made for years and years and years, they now have the ability to bring forward. This is going to be interesting to follow over the next couple of weeks or so. It's going to be crazy amidst everything else going on. So what you're seeing here is the dining room. I'm seeing the CEO of Google. I'm seeing other CEOs. There's JD Vance. As they pan the room, who else is up in there? You guys recognize people. Bigwigs. There's Linda McMahon. I think that's Kelly Loeffler with the long blonde hair. So there's going to be a lot of people in this audience. Obviously, a lot of Japanese people as well. There's the Japanese excursion sitting next to Howard Letnick. And then President Trump and the Prime Minister will be coming out soon. There's, I forget her name, but she's the one who is waving is Secretary of Labor. The guy right there in the glasses, that's the CEO of Google sitting with Marco Rubio. So there's a lot. Scott Bessent is sitting on at the far table. So pretty much most of the cabinet is in there, just waiting for President Trump and Miss Takaichi, I think is her name, the Prime Minister of, what do you call it, Japan. Also today, what they're doing is they're complaining about the whole use of that President Trump brought up the term, talked about Pearl Harbor, and they thought that was embarrassing. Anything they possibly can do to try and disrupt him. But right now they are, what time is it? They are 20 minutes late. We'll keep an eye on it. I don't know how long this is going to go. I don't know how long they're going to talk. We'll just go with it, and whatever they cover, they cover. And then we'll I've got some other stuff I can show you as well. But while we're waiting, I haven't done this in a while. Let's go ahead and take some comments. But before I take some comments, let me talk to you about tonight's sponsor. I'll be right back. Now, so if you bought some silver or some gold, don't freak out. And if you haven't, now's the time you are going to want to educate yourself, because I've said it for quite some time, and I'll say it again. In the next 90 days, I think I can say at this point 70 days, there's going to be some people making a crap load of money because they're educating themselves. You can see right now the deep state is throwing everything they can at the wall, everything to suppress the market. Everything. They're saying we have a problem with oil. They're trying to suppress gold and silver. They're doing profit taking in the stock market. Smart people are buying the $17 million mansion. Now, I don't expect you're going to buy a $17 million mansion, but you can make the same kind of moves if you know what's coming. That's the whole thing. Understanding that right now they're in their, as I would say, agonal breathing days. The days of excessive money printing, overvalued markets, and global unrest are finally catching up to the globalist elite. Instead of pulling back, now is the time to do your own research, keep your eyes open to trends, and get some information from my friends at Lear Capital. Experts are still predicting $6,000 gold and $150 to $200 an ounce silver. Everything you're seeing is being driven by geopolitical uncertainty, inflation concerns, and a perceived weakening U.S. dollar, and because they hate the president. Is it time for you to buy some gold or silver or real estate? That's a decision you're going to have to make. Don't let anybody talk you into buying anything. But I will try to tell you, if you call Lear Capital, they'll help you by getting the most accurate, timely information that you'll need to make an informed decision. Call the best in the business and the company Robin and I personally trust and buy from.
Thank you very much, everybody. Please, we have a very special person with us tonight, an amazing person. Tonight, I'm delighted to welcome a great friend and partner for her very first visit to the White House. We've become very close, so close that I endorsed her for her election. And she did what? She got the highest number ever gotten by somebody running for the highest position in Japan, beating out a lot of our friends, and it's a tremendous tribute. And that's our really amazing friend, the Japanese Prime Minister, who's going to speak in just a few minutes, but we're very honored to have you with us tonight. Thank you.
Thank また私は最近この選挙において応援のメッセージを送ったんですけども、そこで高市総理は圧巻の勝利を示したということで、それも称えさせていただきたいと思います。
And I want to congratulate the Prime Minister on that unbelievable, all over the world they were talking about it, that victory in last month's election, winning by numbers that, as I said, nobody's ever seen in Japan before.
でまた世界中でもこれは大きな話題となり、高市総理ほどその票を獲得した人は今までいなかったと話題になりました。
And this was not only an amazing political achievement, it was a resounding declaration of strength and confidence, national spirit and resolve straight from the Japanese people who love you.
でまたこの勝利なんですけども、歴史上最大過半数を獲得したということで、これは圧巻の政治的な成果のみならず、力強さ、自信、国の精神と決心というものを国民から勝ち取ったという、これを宣言する結果となりました。
And the Prime Minister's visit comes as we're just days away from the most beautiful season here in Washington, which, by the way, is a crime-free city, just about. And we're very proud of that. We have done a great job, and it's a very safe place that people are coming to in record numbers. And the blooming of the Japanese cherry blossom trees is something very special. For more than a century, this magnificent explosion of pink and white has graced America's capital. I mean, it's been something that really represents Washington so well as a living symbol of the cherished friendships between two of our world's most extraordinary nations.
また総理はちょうど最も美しい時期にここ DC を訪問されています。これは日本の桜の木が満開間近になる時期であります。そしてここで加えさせていただきたいのが、今ここでの DC での犯罪率ゼロということで、非常に安全な場所になっていて、観光客もかなり記録的な数になっています。そして100年以上なんですけども、この桜の木というその爆発的な彩りですね、これを私たちは鑑賞することができました。これは日米の友情の生きている証、象徴であると思います。
And this year we're honored to receive an additional 250 cherry trees, and they're very big, beautiful trees from the great people of Japan in recognition of America's 250th anniversary. And they will remind every future generation of our timeless bond, and they'll be planted near and around the Washington Monument, and it's going to be something very special. They've already started the planting, but it's 250 beautiful specimen trees, and we'll get you over here. We'll check them out after they're planted. We'll get you back.
でまた今年はアメリカ建国250周年記念ということで、日本からさらに250本の桜の木を寄付していただいています。これは未来の世代にも永遠の私たちの絆を思い起こさせるものになることでしょう。これからワシントンモニュメント、またこの近隣で私たちが各々の文化に対して誇りを持っているということ、常に最高を目指すという精神、勤勉であり、また可能性のあるものに対して追求をやめないというところが共通してあります。だからこそ日本とアメリカは医療、音楽、芸術、エンジニアリング、さまざまな分野において世界を牽引しているのです。
These shared traits and values have transcended every trial, history, and you look no matter where you go, you see this, and ultimately made our nations into strong allies and very close friends. Our partnership has made both the United States and Japan stronger, freer, and more successful than virtually any other nation on the planet. And under the leadership of the Prime Minister and myself, I know we will soon make that partnership even stronger and better than ever before. We have that relationship, and actually it started quite a while ago.
また私たちが共通する特性というものは、私たちが経験してきた試練をも乗り越えられるほどのものでした。だからこそ私たちの同盟はさらに強く、また緊密な関係を今構築できているわけです。日米のパートナーシップのもと、私たちはより強く自由で成功する国となることができました。高市総理と私のリーダーシップで、これからさらにこの関係を強くできるということを確信しています。
On my visit to Tokyo last year, we reached a historic trade deal that will increase our cooperation on everything from energy to semiconductors and shipbuilding and pharmaceuticals. It was a big one of the biggest deals ever made. The United States is also encouraged to see the steps the Prime Minister is taking to expand her country's commitment to its own security and defense, and buying a lot of our defense equipment, I'm happy to tell you.
また、昨年私が東京を訪問した際に大きな取引を日本と交わしました。ここでエネルギー、半導体、造船、医療に関して協力を拡大するという、最も大きな取引でありました。またそれに加えて今日本が取り組んでいる、高市総理が取り組んでいる自国の防衛安全保障、この進化、強化に取り組んでいることを心強く思っており、そういった面では防衛装備品というものを多く購入していただいていることにも、嬉しく思っております。
So just to close up with the commitment of the leaders and the biggest leaders in the country, some of the leaders in the room, the United States and Japan can be an unstoppable force for freedom, security, and progress for our countries and for the entire world to look up to. So let us stand together with the strength and dignity, purpose. Let us keep our people safe, our nations prospering, and our alliance flourishing for many, many generations to come. And with that, I'd just like to thank the Prime Minister. This is a spectacular woman, and it's an honor to have you with us at the White House. Thank you.
この世界のコミットメントのもと、止められない勢力になるということを私は確信しております。ですので、互いに力、尊厳、そしてその意思というものを持って、共に立ち並びに高市総理の方からもお言葉を頂戴したいと思います。
トランプ大統領、ご列席の皆様、はじめにこのビューティフルディナーを開催していただいたことに心から感謝をいたします。
The Honorable President Donald J. Trump, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to express my deepest gratitude for hosting such a beautiful dinner for me and my delegation.
ドナルドの日本への温かい思いや友情に改めてありがとうございます。
Donald, thank you very much for your warm feelings toward Japan and your friendship.
私からは今宵2つのアニバーサリーにお祝いの言葉をお伝えしたいと思います。
So tonight, I would like to start off by extending my sincere congratulations on two important anniversaries.
1つ目は、明日に控えるドナルドのご子息のバロンさんのお誕生日です。立派でイケメンに成長されていると伺っております。
The first one is a birthday celebration. Donald, tomorrow is the birthday of your son, Mr. Baron, very tall, good-looking gentleman.
間違いなくご両親に似たんだと思います。
Donald, it is very clear where he got it. Of course, from his parents. There's no doubt about it.
ぜひ私からのハッピーバースデーを、お伝えいただけたら嬉しいです。
So, Donald, if I may ask you, please convey my sincere happy birthday wishes to him.
そして2つ目、はもうさっきドナルドが喋っちゃったんですが、アメリカ建国、250周年を、今年自由と民主主義の理念を世界に示してきたアメリカがその歴史的節目を迎えるということに日本政府および日本国民を代表して心からお喜び申し上げます。
The second one is the 250th anniversary of the United States, as you rightly mentioned. The United States has long been an icon of freedom and democracy in the world, and this year, the United States is marking a historic milestone. And on behalf of the government and the people of Japan, I would like to extend my deepest congratulations to you and the American people.
そして、8月には250周年を祝う、インディカーレースが、このドナルドの、発案で、ここワシントン DC で開催されると伺っています。
And I understand that in August this year, at Donald's suggestion, IndyCar race, Freedom 250 Grand Prix, will be held here in Washington, D.C.
美しいナショナルモールを絞れと、日本のホンダのエンジンが爆走します。
This race will bring roaring Chevrolet and Honda engines to the National Mall.
そして、インディカーの冠スポンサーは日本企業の NTT でありまして、まさに日米友好のシンボルです。
In addition, Japan's NTT Group has been a title sponsor of the IndyCar series. As you see, IndyCar race is a perfect example of the friendship between Japan and the United States.
偉大なレースの大成功をお祈りします。
So I do hope that you have a huge success at this racing event.
さて、ワシントン DC では日本の桜が長年春の訪れを知らせるとともに日米友好の歴史を体現してきました。
Speaking of our friendship, here in Washington, D.C., Japanese sakura, or cherry trees, have long been letting us know the arrival of spring, and also it has been a symbol of the history of Japan-U.S. friendship.
これもドナルドがさっき喋っちゃったんですが、今年日本からワシントン DC に250本の桜をプレゼントして250年を祝います。
And this is also something that Donald already mentioned, but I would like to reiterate. This year, Japan extends a gift of additional 250 cherry trees to Washington, D.C. to celebrate America 250.
本当は桜の花束を抱えて、ドナルド、Nice to see you again ってやりたかったんですけれども、米国は検疫が厳しくていきなり花を持ち込めないってことに気がつきました。
Actually, my original plan was to bring so many cherry flowers and directly hand it to you, Donald. But unfortunately, because of the very strict quarantine measures, that I couldn't make this happen.
強い日本、強いアメリカ、豊かな日本、豊かなアメリカ。私たちはこれらを実現するための最強のバディだと確信しています。
A stronger Japan and a stronger America. A more prosperous Japan and a more prosperous America. I am very confident that Donald and I are the best buddies to realize this shared goal.
でドナルドと親交が深かった安倍晋三元総理がかつてこのワシントン DC の地で高らかに歌われた言葉を誇りと自信を持ってこの場で皆さんに再びお伝えいたします。
Late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, who was Donald's dear friend and also my dear friend too, eloquently said one phrase here in Washington, D.C. upon his visit. And as I stand here today, I would like to repeat what he said with greater pride and confidence.
Japan is back.日本は再び世界のイノベーションをリードします。そして新しい日本は世界の平和により一層大きな役割を果たしていきます。
Japan once again will lead the innovation in the world, and the new Japan stands ready to play an even greater role for world's peace.
日本はこの道のりをドナルドと、そしてアメリカ国民の皆様と共に歩んでまいります。
Japan will continue to walk on such path together with Donald and together with the American people.
希望と強さを兼ね備えた日米同盟の新たな歴史の1ページを一緒に作っていこうではありませんか。Thank you.
Let us together create a new chapter in the history of Japan-US alliance, a chapter filled with hope and strength. Thank you very much.
All right, so they just cut it. Listen, I am sorry about the picture buffering and everything. That wasn't anything on the feed side. That was 100% the encoder. Not to get too technical, but there's a pipe, basically, if you want to think of it that way, where the feed comes in. It comes into one pipe, and out the other side, it goes to YouTube and X and Rumble and everything else. And somehow it's coming in fine, but there was a problem as it was going out. So I apologize. Nothing I could do with it. And by the way, I know I see you guys like, it's buffering. Trust me, I can see it. SV can see it. We all can see it happening. So we're not just letting it happen. It just, I don't know, ghost in the machine or something. But it happens. It happens. All right. So that was very short. Let me check with SV. You got anything?
Hey there. How's everybody doing tonight?
Tough.
I know. There's never a dull moment, right, Barry?
No.
I see something that Gunther posted about Benny Johnson. It says, breaking, Benny Johnson just perfectly summed up the Democratic-run states right now. Democratic states have psychotic ex-girlfriend energy right now. California, New York, and Illinois abuse their best people with toxic mean girl behavior. That's perfect.
Yeah,
I like that.
That absolutely is perfect. It goes a bit further than that. These people realize they have nothing. There's nothing for them to grasp onto, and so they're just spiraling. And so I've got an extended version of the libtard zone coming up. Awesome. I knew this might be short, so I've got an extended version of that. Let me go ahead and do this Lear thing before, because I have to redo it because it didn't get through the whole thing. But right after this, we're going to the libtard zone. Now, so if you bought some silver or some gold, don't freak out. And if you haven't, now's the time you're going to want to educate yourself, because I've said it for quite some time, and I'll say it again. In the next 90 days, I think I can say at this point 70 days, there's going to be some people making a crap load of money because they're educating themselves. You can see right now the deep state is throwing everything they can at the wall, everything to suppress the market, everything. They're saying we have a problem with oil. They're trying to suppress gold and silver. They're doing profit taking in the stock market. Smart people are buying the $17 million mansion. Now, I don't expect you're going to buy a $17 million mansion, but you can make the same kind of moves if you know what's coming. That's the whole thing. Understanding that right now they're in their, as I would say, agonal breathing days. The days of excessive money printing, overvalued markets, and global unrest are finally catching up to the globalist elite. Instead of pulling back, now is the time to do your own research, keep your eyes open to trends, and get some information from my friends at Lear Capital. Experts are still predicting $6,000 gold and $150 to $200 an ounce silver. Everything you're seeing is being driven by geopolitical uncertainty, inflation concerns, and a perceived weakening U.S. dollar, and because they hate the president. Is it time for you to buy some gold or silver or real estate? That's a decision you're going to have to make. Don't let anybody talk you into buying anything. But I will try to tell you, if you call Lear Capital, they'll help you by getting the most accurate, timely information that you'll need to make an informed decision. Call the best in the business and the company Robin and I personally trust and buy from. We're getting ready to put in a decent sized buy in the next 24 to 48 hours. Call Lear Capital. It's a free call. There's no obligation to purchase, just education and information on protecting and growing your wealth with gold and silver. I'm sure there are many of you that have called and haven't purchased yet for whatever reason. They'll even walk you through shifting some of your money sitting in retirement accounts over to physical gold and silver. It's easy to do so. I have been extremely satisfied with Lear's knowledge, service, and prices. And beyond just working with Lear, I can say that, they're friends. I urge you to call today and learn more. 800-601-5430, 800-601-5430, or go to learberry.com to learn more. Now, I understand there may be some naysayers in the chat, but I'm telling you what no one else is telling you. I'm telling you, go educate yourself before you do anything.
No man should ever enter where we are going. Beware what lurks in the depths of the libtard zone.
Senator Padilla, recent undercover reporting in Los Angeles is showing that there is cash for ballot deals being made. I'm with the press. Yes, I'm with the press. Well, where's the badge? It's right here. My badge is right here. We have our badges. Cash for ballot measures. Cash for ballot deals.
Not the office of the president.
No, Gavin Newsom is now demanding prosecutions for these cash for ballot deals being made in Los Angeles. This is your state of California where this is happening. Why are you opposed to the safeguards in the Save America Act?
To get to the next meeting.
There's election fraud actively happening in the state of California, and you're opposed to the Save America Act. Can you explain why?
Two different things.
There is election fraud happening in California. Why not be a proponent of the Save America Act to protect American elections?
He made his point very clear just now.
He did not, and the American people still want answers. Thank you very much.
I was sitting right next to her, and Ashley and I were sitting next to her when we were in Washington, D.C., and she was constantly on the run. She chases Ilhan Omar and through the tunnels, and the other guy with her with the camera, always getting these people. And the thing that you see with the libtards is they can't say anything. It's very easy when you're in the confines of someplace safe, but have you been noticing when they're out in public, whether or not it's through one of the tunnels or if somebody's talking to them, they can't get away fast enough. If you truly believed what you were saying was true, why not stop? Even if you wanted to say, hey, listen, I got to get to a meeting, and can you come by the office about 1 o'clock? Nope. Head down, get the blockers, keep them away from you, and run to wherever you got to get to. You see, when you see that stuff, and you see them on television on MSNBC or CNN, you realize it's fake. It's completely fake. All it is meant to basically keep the movie going. And it also should tell you another thing. When you see them in these hearings, and they're talking to somebody, all right, so can you tell me if the sky is blue, and on Tuesday if it's blue, yes or no? Whatever they're reading, they didn't write. These people are walking dummies. They are seriously crash test dummies walking around Washington without a clue. We saw it. You continue to see it. They run, they can't answer the questions because they haven't been told the answers. If you don't know the answer to the question, you can't stop and talk to anybody. And that is what the Democrat Party is right now. You can't articulate what exactly you're talking about unless you're in a completely sterile environment where you know what's going to be asked. Oh my God, she might ask me a question. Yeah, get her off of me. Do something. I can't take this.
So I would just say, if we ever get to the point where you are being asked to put armed ICE officers at polling locations, we have lost the plot as a country. We have fundamentally lost it. And until I hear someone tell me that this man, President Trump, will actually allow us to have a free and fair election, there is zero trust here, and I cannot trust that he won't try and steal it again.
Again? Excuse me, point of order. What the hell are you talking about? Steal it again. Are you intimating that 2016 was stolen? Are you intimating that 2024 was stolen? What exactly are you talking about? And what you want is to have complete assurance that there's no law enforcement, at least no ICE, at polling places. Why? Why would that bother you so much? I just can't trust him. It's not about trusting. You don't have to trust him. It's funny. I even say that to people on X and everywhere. I just don't trust him. They're always asking you to trust him. What they're asking is to enforce the law. There's no trust. The trust is, I trust that the people with badges would enforce the law. That's what we need to trust. You don't need to trust him. We don't need to trust you. We need to know that if somebody is going to a polling place and they are not supposed to be at said polling place, that they get plucked out of line and put in jail. But yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean? I can't trust him. He'll steal it again. I don't know if that was a Freudian slip or not, but what in the hell are you talking about, Elise? You're CIA. We know who you are. That little slip there of he will steal it again implies that they maybe think behind the doors, closed doors, that President Trump stole 2024. When all he did in 2024 is just tweak it just a little bit so you couldn't wholeheartedly cheat. To them, that was stealing 2024. Certain people didn't get the results they were supposed to get, and because of that, he had to have cheated. No, he enforced the law. Matter of fact, he didn't. He wasn't president. Now he's president. Now he could enforce the law. Oh, by the way, only the president can declare or determine what is an imminent threat to national security. Oh, I'm ready. This is going to be so much fun.
And we're here to say that the era of Trump and Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town. Get out of town. Because you don't represent our values. You are not New Yorkers.
A few minutes later. All right, so that was Kathy Hochul telling GOP MAGA, get out of town. Get out of New York. We don't want you. Seriously? This is how we're going to break up? You're not going to give me a kiss or anything? You tell me I got to get out of town? Well, enough people believed her. Enough people, including somebody like Sean Hannity, like, bye. I'm out. And then more people, I'm out. And then more people, bye. When you tell somebody that, even in your interpersonal relationships, you tell them, get out, what happens if they take you up on that? That's what New York is finding out right now. Now the talk that she has isn't so big.
Moments later.
They let them live someplace else. It'd be one thing if they were proving that spending all this money is helping the homeless population get off the streets and get back into work, but there's no sign of that. In fact,
some of you may be retired. Some of you guys may be working. Some of you guys may not even make $82,000 a year. Some of you would say if I made $82,000 in a year, it would be a good year. The city of New York is spending $82,000 per person that is homeless, unhoused. $82,000 for the guy laying in the street. $82,000 for the junkie rolling around and looking like a zombie. $82,000 for each one of those people you have to step over. $82,000 for the guy in the alley taking a poop. $82,000 for someone who's on a subway and might try to jack you. $82,000 for somebody who might light you on fire. $82,000 for every single person that is homeless. Just let that sink in. I'm not making up the number. There it is right there. It's from the New York State Comptroller. The actual accountants in the state of New York have published that they're spending $82,000 a year on homeless people per person. I would venture to say you could just get a check and hand every single one of these people like $20,000 and you'd never have a problem again. But somehow you were spending $82,000 of taxpayer dollars on people who still living in the street. That's insane.
The homeless population is only growing in this city.
And being conscious of the facts that I need people who are high net worth to support the generous social programs that we want to have in our state.
What? What? I need people who got money to give up the money that we can go ahead and waste. That's what she just said. I need you to support our generous social programs. Who the hell are these people writing checks to these people? Are you serious? You just admit your own accountant say, yeah, we're spending $82,000 a year on homeless people. And I told all the rich people, get out of New York. Now I need you back.
Right. Now, there are some patriotic millionaires who stepped up. Okay, cut me the checks. I mean, just if you want to be supportive, but maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home. Because
you can't make this up. You can literally not make this stuff up. Yet there's people on X right now. There are people all over X telling you we're going to lose the midterm. There are people telling you we're going to lose the war. And this woman, the governor of New York, is begging people, go get your friends in Palm Beach and bring them back. Who's going to do that? You want me to come back for the sole reason, not because you want to improve my life. You want me to come back to New York so you can get more of my money. That's it. Not even a kiss. Just pure American me bend over. That's it. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. What kind of pitch is that? What kind of a game you got in terms of talking to people where your enticement is come back so I can take more of your money? After you told me to get effed and get out of New York, now you're like, can you come back and bring some of your Palm Beach buddies with you? No, my Palm Beach buddies, they came down here to Florida and they got boats. And like Kevin James from, Mayor of New York, whatever his show was, he just bought a $17 million mansion. Oh, yeah. And all the other ones are coming down and buying yachts and playing and living large. And they don't have to step over homeless people. And they get to keep their money. There's no state income tax in Florida. And you want them to come back? These people are delusional. Like when SV was talking about Benny's phrase about, they're the crazy ex-girlfriends. No, they're worse than that. There is not a single one of you who would ever take up that offer. Sell your house, get rid of everything you've gotten in Florida, and come on back so we can get a bigger portion of your money.
Our tax base has been eroded. So I philosophically don't have a problem. It is like I have to look at the fact that we are in competition with other states who have less of a tax burden on their corporations and their individuals.
Well, if you're if you're competition, well, what are they doing? What are they doing in Florida and Texas? Well, these other states, they had lower taxes on businesses and corporations and people. Okay, so it's working for them. You know, you got your game film. What's working? Oh, okay. So what are you going to do? The Costanza and do everything opposite? That's when you're looking at your competition, you're like, we don't have to change. We just have to convince you to come back up here. They're lost.
And I would say remote work changed everything. There were people who could only work in an office in Manhattan or work in New York State, and they were captives to our state. They were going to stay.
That's not a good thing. That is hardly a good thing. We had them captive. They were stuck. Come to New York and get stuck. Her words, not mine. We had them stuck, and then everything changed when they found out this work remote crap, and they weren't stuck anymore, and they liked not being stuck. And then they said, we ain't coming back. Oh, but there lies in another problem with what she's saying. The people that you want to come from Palm Beach are hanging out on yachts and playing tennis and pickleball and golfing. They're not the ones who had to work remotely. She let that out the bag. So we need more of those people to come back here and be stuck. If they're not stuck, we can't rape their money from them. She in the same sentence went from talking about millionaires and billionaires in Palm Beach to talking about people working in cubicles who learned how to do remote work. It came out of her mouth. I need to get your money. Everything was fine. You were stuck here. And now I can't even understand how I can compete with Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott and other states. I can't even imagine what we're going to do with the 82,000 we need for every homeless person. You people don't know the pressure on me. Well, obviously you don't understand the definition of the word compete. If you understood the word compete, well, then in order to, quote, compete, you have to entice people and say, I've got something you really want. You're going to want to come back to New York because we're doing things differently. All right, what you doing? We're giving out 82,000 to homeless people and I need your money. That doesn't sound different. What else you got? We're not arresting people, so there's more crime. So far, you're 0 for 2. What else you got? They don't have anything.
We saw that that's not the case. I mean, Wall Street, businesses looking at Texas, they're not going there because they have a nicer governor. I know that for sure. But they're going there because of the tax rate. We have to be smart about this.
She's defining her own resolution, but not understanding how to implement that resolution. We got to be smart about it. Okay, you're on to something, honey. You got it. You're on the right track. We got to be smart about this. What's your plan? Oh, you don't have one. So you don't have a plan, and it's not going to change. All you're going to do is expedite more people getting the hell out.
And fund what we want to fund with what we already are taking in.
This is the problem with libtards. They don't even hear the words coming out of their mouths. They expect you, just out of the goodness of your heart, to cut them checks so that they can just do whatever they need to get done what we need to get done, as she said. Notice there was nothing in her sentences. Nothing in what she said is, hey, listen, let me do something for you. Whether it's a date, whether it's a business relationship, whether it's an interpersonal relationship, there's got to be something in it for me. I need this. You have this. Okay, how can I get some of that from you? just tell you I need it. Well, that doesn't do anything for me. I got it already. What are you going to do for me? Oh, come on, man. I need $82,000 a year per home. I don't really care about what you need. What's in it for me? And the Democrats stop right there. There's nobody they can talk to. I heard Bernie, what is his name? Bernie Sanders out there crying again today. No, not millionaires. Billionaires. You know how much money Elon Musk has? You know what he owns? Not understanding the word owns. He has so much money. There's a problem with all the money Elon Musk has. Okay. So what would you like to see happen? I'd like to see us collect some of that money from him. What are you giving him? What do you mean? They don't have that. It'd be very easy to get some of Elon's money. Very easy. Talk to your girl, Kathy Hochul, or whatever state you're in, and say, let's give him, I don't know, something Florida and Texas do, an incentive. Hey, Elon, if you move some of your people here, we're going to give you, but they can't. It's a one-way street. Democrats can't do this unless you're homeless in a ditch somewhere. Otherwise, it's just take. That's their problem.
Kneecaps going to Cuba? Yeah, I know. I know. I've been working hard, boys. You expect the CNN person to go with you? CNN is going with us already. Yeah.
So this guy, I forget, he's a big name streamer and socialist / commie, even though he's talking on probably $1,000 plus setup, but he's a commie. And he's organizing people, including CNN. Let's go down to Cuba and fix what's wrong. It's 2026. I think what went wrong in Cuba happened a long time ago.
We have Boy's going. I Did a Thing is going. We have a major, dude, more people will be revealed in the upcoming days. I've been working on this no, it's not Donnie, unfortunately. I forgot to literally invite Donnie. It was such a mistake on my part. It's another CNN reporter that'll be on board. But I've been working for the last 2 months on like organizing this major flotilla trip. Like, shouts out to Progressive International. They've been doing all the logistics, obviously, but
2 months. 2 months. You and Greta Thunberg and whatever other commies you could put together are going to go down to Cuba, barge in and say, we are here to fix everything. For all you 11 million people, we're going to show you the light. Don't give up on communism. The people of Cuba are like, you got any bread? I don't know. You got some bread? How about some toilet paper? Toilet paper? How about a light bulb? My gosh, you got a hot dog in that bag? Because absent that and bringing down, I don't know, 11 million hot dogs, what the hell are you bringing to Cuba? You don't have those kind of resources. What are you going to do to bring to the people of Cuba while you stay in some swank hotel, because you're not going to go roughing it? Hey, as you tell them, let's keep up with the communism. It's working. Dude, I don't even have electricity. So if you're going to bring hot dogs, make sure you bring barbecues with charcoal, because we don't even have electricity. If you're filming your videos on your $1,000, $2,000 system, I can't wash my hands. Why? There's no water. What? These people are insane.
I've been trying to get as many people as possible to come. Are you bringing aid? What are y'all doing there? Yes, we're bringing medical aid. Not only are we bringing medical aid and solar panels, because like the Answer Coalition.
Oh, that's gonna work. Here's your solar panel, Vasquez. What am I gonna do with this? I got a solar panel. I'm gonna walk around. Hey, yeah, Carlos, I got solar panel. Look, you guys got. What am I gonna do with a solar panel? Oh, you want me to go up on a roof, install this solar panel, and then run wires down into my house or apartment so that I can cook a hot dog that I don't have.
And like the PSL front orgs are bringing a lot of solar panels and stuff like that. But then on top of that, like the goal there is to just like show Americans like what the, regular experiences for regular Cuban folks actually look like on the island.
You don't got to go to Cuba for that. You can stay here in America. Just come on down to Miami, and I can take you to Little Havana, and they can tell you straight up. You don't even have to go cross the water there. And ask them what life is like in Cuba. By the fact, since you obviously don't know, ask them how life in Cuba has been for the last 60 years. Since you've been working on it for 2 months, you're going to bring down solar panels. And when you hand them a solar panel, we got lots of solar panels. You got electricians? Wait a minute. How are you going to hook it up? Y'all going to walk around like this all day. And maybe at the end of the day, you might have enough to... I can't with these people. They're serious. That's the problem with it. We laugh and go, this is just insane. This is libtardery at its best.
Because there's obviously somewhat of a communication blackout from American media as far as like the everyday existence of Cubans. You can just go to Cuba. Like even right now, you can just go to fucking Cuba. Okay? And people don't even know that. Invite I show speed genuinely. I asked, he did not respond. It would have been great.
I compile this stuff to bring to you because I really feel sometimes if I just said this to you, hey man, there's this guy and he's planning on going to Cuba. And he's like, anybody can go. Just go ahead and just go to Cuba. Let's just go. Okay. Never mind that you're entering a foreign country. Just go ahead, go to Cuba. And we're going to bring a whole bunch of solar panels with us. You ready for this? Oh, it's going to be fantastic. I'm like, can you think a couple steps deeper? Just one or two. What the hell are they going to do with a solar panel? I got no water. I got no electricity. I can't even run a Starlink. What am I supposed to do? I don't have a computer. I ain't got a cell phone. I don't have any bread for the hot dogs you're bringing. How you bringing all these hot dogs? I ain't got... Yeah, am I just going to just break it off? And you're not an army. You're not a third country. It's a bunch of guys and somebody from CNN. They're heading down to Cuba. Look at these people. They're broke. They got nothing. It's America's fault. Wow. Just let that sink in.
Britt, here's a bit of the reaction. Here's a combination of some voices on that put together. Watch this.
It's becoming clear all the time, frankly, that the Trump administration was not prepared for this war to last.
Now, are we any closer to finding out what the plan is here?
I understand Whoopi and Simone. I understand. The problem is Donald Trump didn't give you a call. Pete Hegseth didn't say, come on over to the Pentagon. Let's go ahead. Let me explain it to Whoopi. And there's people who actually watch this crap. Lots of people, big audiences. Now you see why some of the people on the right are crazy. They're talking to crazy people. Not one person in the audience would say, well, Whoopi, why the hell would you get the information? President Trump says it at a press conference. Why the hell would I tell you? Why the hell would I tell Whoopi? Yeah, Whoopi doesn't even know, man. Whoopi should get the 91411. You should be telling Whoopi, and you definitely should be telling Simone. Simone deserves to know the information.
We find ourselves again in a situation where we could actually win every single battle and still lose the war.
So this is also sort of...
To who? You left a dangling sentence there. We could win every single battle and lose the war to a cardboard cutout. One thing you have to realize is that there's not much separation between the loons on the left and the loons on the right. Not much separation whatsoever. The fact that people on the right are listening to some of these crackpots that let them say some of the craziest things ever and keep going back for more, like it's great to them. They're being sucked in the same way the people on the left are being sucked into these nuts. All you've got to do is step back and wait a second. How do you know? Who told you this? Alex? Candace? Who told you? And on the other side, you got people going, yeah, Whoopi should know. Whoopi don't know. Joey Behar doesn't know. It's the same group of people. One just wears a red hat, and the other one, they wear tinfoil. I don't know. But you've got people on the right who are spitting the same crap. So my sources tell me that here's what's going to be going on tomorrow. But then when it did happen, well, that's because it didn't happen yet. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw, Robin and I went to lunch between shows, late lunch, and I had the misfortune of watching a dead man do a press conference. I could not believe I was watching a dead man talk to reporters. I'm talking, obviously, about Bibi Netanyahu. Bibi Netanyahu did a press conference today. You think that slowed down the nuts from saying that Bibi's dead? Nope, they just went on to the next thing. It's like it never happened. I'm like, bro, I saw your video. Your video from literally 2 days ago was telling everybody who follows you, I've got the inside story. Bibi Netanyahu is dead. All right, it was a different Bibi Netanyahu. It was a guy who was hanging out in Brooklyn. Okay, that's the one I thought they got killed. They didn't tell me it wasn't the Bibi Netanyahu. I thought it was a dude in Brooklyn. Let's go to the next one. And people suck it up. We had people in our chat. Barry, have you heard the rumor about Bibi Netanyahu being dead? You just answered your own question. It's a rumor. Turns out not to be true. Either that or I did see a reincarnated dead man at a press conference today. You may have seen it yourself. Oh boy. What are we going to go to next? They're nuts. We've got them on our side just as bad. It's scary. It's scary because when you hear people say some of the things that they say in our chat or they post on X, you're like, come on, man, do better. Do better. Realize you're being lied to for the sake of you going, click. There was nobody who told them 2 days ago that Netanyahu was dead. Come on, snap out of it. Nobody told them. Their sources say that Netanyahu was killed and his wife. Nobody told you. Yeah, you almost caught me. Nobody told you crap. You're making it up as you go. Same people now are saying how Trump's going to lose and how this is happening and Israel is one wagging the tail and Trump's just doing what he's told. What did Netanyahu say today? Did you see the press conference with Netanyahu? I told you what he was going to say. Sure enough, he said it. Yeah, President Trump is the boss here, and we made a mistake, and I knew that was coming. Don't you do that again. SV texted me and said the Marines are heading somewhere into Middle East. Nobody knows what's happening until they see the report. I just urge you and compel you to stop listening to freaks. That's all I'm saying. Stop listening to people who don't know anything, and then don't rely on the people who say they know something because they know something because they know somebody. And today I was so pissed off. I was driving, and I heard Liz Wheeler, and she was on Glenn Beck's show early this morning. You can turn into it. I think it was like 9:22 when she said on Glenn Beck's show, well, it's been an unspoken secret that Joe Kent, whatever his name is, he's a big leaker. I thought to myself, then why didn't you say that last week? If you knew that Kent was leaking all over the place, why didn't you say it when you knew it? If it's such an unspoken secret, because I tell you what that tells me, and should tell you, you're lying. I don't know, Liz Wheeler. I guess I shouldn't say that, but that would have been my next question. Like, if you know he's known for leaking, why weren't you saying anything the entire time he was there? Nobody asked the kind of questions I would ask. Because at that point, there's only really two answers. One, I was afraid. Two, I was using that information. I was writing blogs and creating videos because, I thought I was getting the source. Ugh, God.
Classic Brit, you could go back, I guess, to Vietnam and talk about how wars are covered and whether or not it's accurate or inaccurate in terms of the picture that people are getting across the country. What's your take?
Well, for a moment, Martha, let's turn the situation around and assume a situation in which the United States is under attack from a major enemy. And that enemy is ranging freely over our skies with no resistance, bombing at will, sending missiles at will, attacking our vessels, attacking our ballistic missile systems, attacking our aircraft at will. That they have wiped out, they've killed the president and wiped out his cabinet, and countless officials in the echelons below. And we have responded as the United States by shutting off a major waterway that we need for our economy.
When he reduces it like that, that should make you think these people have no idea what the hell they're talking about. Just put it like if we were Iran. People are flying around doing what they want. We can't stop them. Can't do anything. Trump, Vance, Rubio, they're all dead. But we're winning. That's what they're saying. I cannot even fathom that people don't look at that and go, wait a minute. They have no air support, right? No, nothing. No boats. None. No capacity to make more weapons. Nope. Can you tell me how you're defining the word win? But yet people click. Oh, we could be losing. How? I have an open mind. Tell me how you're losing. How we're losing when all that to be true. The Warthog plane that we're talking about doesn't even go out there until we've already gotten air superiority because it flies so low as it's Britain people. All you got to do is take a step back, and Brett said it perfectly.
Yes, it harms other economies as well. Do you think anyone would be saying that this is, as Walter Russell Mead put it today, a stalemate? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody asked what is he talking about? Brit, get a life. No, he was putting out an example as how ludicrous it is that these people even on the left and the right, and they keep saying that President Trump in America is losing. And he just laid it out. If our entire government leadership was gone, if we had no planes, and we had no boats, and all the factories were blown up, would we be winning? So that tells you these people are full of crap.
Who do you think leads the Democratic Party today?
Oh, we don't have one.
Hold on. A sitting senator in the United States government was asked the question, who is the leader of your party? So if aliens swooped down tonight and said, take me to your leader, we ain't got one. What do you mean? Well, what do you do? Just here. Just here for the fun. Get the check. walk downstairs when they tell me it's time to vote. But other than that, nobody has any ideas. Nothing? No, nothing. Remember yesterday when J.D. Vance was talking about the State of the Union, and President Trump used it perfectly to go to show these people being idiots. But the deep, dark truth of the matter was, and he spelled it, he goes, I'm the only one who sits like this. And I saw when he asked them the question, they all started looking around as if they're robots looking for somebody to do the prompt in AI. At that point, what you thought as a person didn't matter until somebody else told you, which tells you there is no left. That should tell you that they were not even allowed to think for themselves. You don't do anything unless you look over in the third row and the guy goes like that. Because why would you look around? Hey, your first job as an American elected official is to protect Americans. Stand up if you believe that. Too late. You failed.
I think the TDS, I think that's the leader right now. You know, right now our party is governed by the TDS, and now it's made it virtually impossible without being punished as a Democrat to agree something's good.
I don't even know how to relay this stuff to you guys. Right now, we should be united. MAGA should be completely 100% united. We have the opportunity to step on these people's throats and exterminate the Democrat Party. Make them completely non-viable. They let them never win again, except for the fact that people down the aisle from us are like, can you shut up? You, stop posting crazy videos. You, stop saying crazy stuff. At some point, those of us on the right have got to begin spanking these people and letting them know, stop. Enough. We are winning. We could be winning hugely if we just came together and just executed this election in 2026. Why are you guys all over here jousting for position? Why can't you just fall in line? What is it you're trying to do? If you've ever played sports, if you've ever done anything like that, the discombobulation of your opponent is when you just begin to salivate. As they say in football, if an offensive line is really taking it to the defense, there's a term they use. I'm imposing my will on you. I can do whatever I want to you. At this point, you're tired, you're frustrated, you're depressed, and I'm just pounding you constantly. I'm imposing my will on you. That's what we could be doing as MAGA right now. We could be imposing our will. But instead, we got people doing all kinds of crazy stuff way out there. I mean, like, yeah, Mars, Uranus, way out there. Why? Who do you work for? Who's paying you? Who's paying you to destruct an obvious winning coalition? Who is telling you at this point that these people who self-admit, we don't even have a leader.
I agree with the other side, and I would define that by epic fury. I am literally the only Democrat in America in Congress that I've come across that's saying, I think it's a great thing to break and destroy the Iranian regime. I think it's entirely appropriate to hold them accountable. And what's strange to me that every single Democrat that's run for president and anyone that I know in Congress says we must never allow them to acquire a nuclear bomb. When that happens, why not celebrate that or acknowledge that? I have only witnessed just criticism and this kinds of attack. Like, yeah, you don't have to agree on every single thing, but when a good thing happens, just because it comes from the different party, that tells me that you're choosing the demand of the base or the party over country or what's really, I think, appropriate in that circumstances.
You know, I would even listen to some of them if it weren't for the fracturing that they're trying to do. I said many times, you know, you're in a huddle. Like, I use football because it's on my mind. And you're in a huddle and the coach calls a play. And when you're in a huddle, you're like, damn, why is he calling this? This sucks. This isn't going to work. I can't believe he's doing this. But then the quarterback goes, break. And when you turn around, you run that play to the best of your ability. Even if inside the huddle, you're like, man, I don't think we could do this. You can't even run past that guy. Yeah, and the quarterback will tell you, shut up or get off the field. The quarterback has that power. Shut up or leave the field. We're going to run the XYZ gaggle left. Okay. Then when you turn around, you run that play to the best of your ability, or you don't play. Why are people on the right not arguing in the huddle? You can have an opinion. I never said people can't have an opinion. But just like the mob movies, you don't speak it in public. You don't let other people see your division. You don't let other people see your weakness. If Tim Pool and Megyn Kelly and Tucker and MTG wanted to discuss something they don't like, call a meeting. Have you wondered about that? Couldn't they just come in, with the meeting? Hey guys, I don't like what he's doing. I think Trump is really messing up. So what's our plan here? And you get a plan and you do it. But instead, let me type something. Let me make a video. Oh, Trump sucks. Trump sucks. Oh, and Epstein. Something's really wrong. That's not how teams run. That is not how teams do. We're in the middle of free agency right now. Or actually, free agency just ended. And you've seen players move and change teams. We lost Tua. We lost Jalen Waddle. And nobody get signed by another team and go, man, I am so happy to be here. Those effing Dolphins, oh man, they're idiots. No, that's not how you do things. I wasn't brought up that way. I was not brought up to just badmouth the people I just left. I got a new job. Oh man, you won't believe you won't believe these people back there. What kind of person does that make you? If you're one of those people who wants to get out there and talk badly about the team you were supposed to be on, you better hope you've got another team that's better. Have you thought about that? All these people on the right who are complaining and screaming and making stuff up, you got a better team? Fetterman just said, we don't have anybody. So if you're a free agent at this point, Megyn Kelly, and you want to do what you want to do, you're entitled to it. What team are you joining? Who are you signing with? I don't see anybody else out here. I see the left, and I see MAGA. What is the other team? You're a free agent, Tim Pool. Who are you signing with? Who's making you the offer to come lead what? When I break it down so simple like that, it's because I'm trying to show you guys the fracturing and all the stuff that they're doing is for completely nothing. There is no other person. There is no other party. Mike Pence? Who are you going to get behind? It's insane.
Thurston County just signed off on an ordinance requiring people to obtain a home energy score before listing their property for sale. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Steve Solis. The policy aims to encourage people in unincorporated Thurston County to invest in improvements that lower utility bills and reduce carbon emissions. KOMO's Jackie Kent breaks down what homeowners and buyers can expect.
Here's what I can expect. People to leave. Just like with Kathy Hochul. So wait a second. Before I can sell my property, I have to get a climate score. And if it doesn't reach the climate score, I can't put it on the market. This is out in Washington State.
And this will not go into effect until a year from today. We spoke with people who are still mixed about it, including realtors concerned about the housing market.
All in favor, say aye.
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 The Thurston County Council voted that before anyone can list their home for sale, they'll have to get a professional review of their insulation, heating and cooling systems, water heating systems, and more.
It doesn't come in effect a year. Sell now. Go ahead and put that on the market, but I guess your buyers are going to be like, because that doesn't have the quality score, and because doesn't have, I'm going to be saddled with a non-compliant property. The housing market goes like that. These people are crazy. This has got to be illegal.
Require a home energy score be completed and disclose when a home is listed for sale, making energy efficiency and energy cost transparent to residents in the real estate market.
It's the first county nationwide to mandate a so-called home energy score. It's one strategy staff say will lead to reduced energy use and greenhouse gas emissions. Commissioner Wayne Fournier was the only one to abstain from the vote, noting concerns about potential legal and operational challenges.
Being the first is cool, but being the first is dangerous. If there wasn't a bunch of public outcry, I might be more prone to roll the dice.
At a busy county council meeting, proponents noted the HES lets home buyers compare the energy costs of multiple listings. Meanwhile, home sellers can ensure their listing reflects their energy investments.
The assessments themselves would be conducted by private sector professionals, not anyone working for the county or in the county assessor's office.
Opponents are frustrated the assessment can cost up to $350, though low-income households are exempt.
I do not think it's the role of government to intercede and mandate these kinds of inspections.
Did y'all talk to Kathy Hochul? The low-income properties are exempt. The poor people, they don't got to pay anything. You tell me how this is going to survive a legal challenge. So you're going to assess people a fee, and the fee's nothing. Okay, some of you guys might have said $350. That's not so bad. Oh, that's not the bad part. The bad part is now we got to get your house into compliance. And you're going to need more insulation. Ooh, you're going to need a better roof. Oh, your walls might have some asbestos in it. Oh, what I got to do to fix it? Oh, it's going to cost you about $50,000. But guess what? The po people down the street, they're okay.
Realtor Don Baker adds there aren't enough energy assessors to do this work. In fact, the Department of Energy website shows the closest ones are near Portland.
With no way to actually gain a score or the assessment, then that means we can't list any homes.
She spoke out.
Oh my goodness. But we're losing. These people are coming up with just completely insane stuff. But we're losing. Trump's, the midterms, it's over. It's over. What are you talking about? I mean, this is like looking at something on The Simpsons. It's Twilight Zone stuff. You're telling me I got to pay a fee to somebody who's not a government employee to give me a score on what my house is and then tell me what I need to do to bring it in compliance. I didn't buy a rehab. I bought a house I lived in. Now I'm going to sell it. Maybe I'm selling it because I don't want to rehab it. Now I can't even sell it and have a rehabber do it. I'm gonna need a $50,000 discount. What do you mean? Oh, you need a new roof. You need new insulation. Oh, and the pitch on the roof. Oh, you should see it. It makes the snow stick on the roof a little bit longer. Oh, your driveway it doesn't have a right pitch there, and the water pools, which causes the frogs to get drowned. You think I'm kidding?
Against the move at County Council, then urged Olympia City Council members to not follow suit. Now cities in the county are evaluating this measure as well. Olympia City Council is set to vote on adopting this measure next week.
So it's going to spread like a fungus. Hey, that sounds good. We're going to make people comply with their houses to get a quality score, a climate score before they can sell their house. Oh, that's coming to California. Oh, that's definitely coming to New York. People. Read the tea leaves. As I say, look where the puck is going. These Karens in these city commissions are just absolutely crazy. But don't worry, it doesn't affect the poor peoples. Well, so you're telling me they can live in non-climate adjusted housing as long as you don't make more than, I don't know, 10 grand in a year? It's okay? Yeah, if you're giving affordable housing, it's you can do whatever you want. Wow. Wow. Let me take a couple of comments. He said, I'll take my money and move out if I live the West Coast. It's fully in straitjacket mode. You know, when I'm compiling this stuff, I actually say to myself, nobody's going to believe this. No. If I don't show it, because other people have asked me, and it'll say, Barry, why do you show so much video? Because if I just said, hey, have you heard about the new law in Washington State? They're going to charge you to make your house energy climate compliant, and you can't sell it. And you're like, you're making that up. That's what happens. Britta says, we need help. SOS. I will never vote Democrat. Oh, good gosh, man. They want you homeless and dependent. Yeah, it's crazy. Overregulation, fees. Yep, that's some of the stuff. What else do we have? I'm in Pennsylvania. Know his game from when he was a mayor and lieutenant governor. Who's that? Shapiro? Oh, great. Chubb went to Buffalo. Thanks, Barry. She's talking about Brad Chubb, one of the Miami Dolphins players. Liberalism is kookery. It is. It's completely. Tania, Barry, if they asked us for energy in my house, they probably would want to knock it down first. It's crazy. It's absolutely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs crazy. But it's not a lie. I'm actually telling you stuff that's in the news. That's why I had to put it in the libtard zone.
Let me say to this federal agencies and ICE, this is Oregon. We do not need you. You're not welcome. And you need to get the hell out of our community.
Bro can't speak English. Bro can't speak English and is telling people in Oregon, you need to get the hell out of our community. It's not your community, bro. Oh my gosh. You got a Somali guy standing up there telling everybody they need to get out of his community. That was a very short one. I think you guys should probably hear that one more time because it goes by so fast. You may not realize what you're listening to.
Measure next week.
Let me say to this federal agencies and ICE.
Now, before he continues, he is a local senator or something in Oregon. And he's sitting there, and the lady with the glasses is like, I don't know if she's the mayor or state attorney or whatever else she is, but I don't know what they've put in the water up in the northwest of the country. I don't know what's gone wrong with Oregon. I don't know what's gone with Washington State, but you know, Stockholm Syndrome seems to be appropriate here. Y'all brought out a Somali to tell Americans you're not welcome here.
This is Oregon. We do not need you. You're not welcome. And you need to get the hell out of our community.
I got no words. Like I said, some of this stuff you guys wouldn't believe it if I didn't show it to you. So now I think we're going to go into, let me see if this is where we're headed now. We're going to go into, no. I got one more crazy cuckoo guy here for you. But this is what if we lose, this is what we have to look forward to.
What does a Project 2029 agenda look like for you?
I don't think you can speak of it in shorthand, but I'll just say a couple of things that I think are absolutely necessary. One is we've got to restore the rule of law, and that means holding people accountable who've broken the law. I'm talking about in this administration, when we get a new one, the people in this administration who've broken the law and federal agents who've broken the law need to be held accountable.
And that means criminally prosecuted.
Criminally prosecuted, civilly prosecuted, whatever it is that we can do, right? It may be that you can't criminally prosecute somebody, but that you can go after them civilly.
So what Pritzker is saying is, if I can't arrest you, I am going to sue you civilly and try to take everything you own. I'll get a judge here in Illinois to give me a $5 million judgment against you, and I'm going to break your family. You and your family are going to be broke. All you MAGAs who did stuff here in Chicago, we're coming for you. I hope they publicize that even more. I hope everybody sees that and says, what? Yeah, we're going to arrest them all. And if we can't arrest them, then we're going to sue them all into oblivion. And we're going to get judges to give giant, massive judgments of $8, $9, $10 million that makes them basically go into hock and ruin their entire lives because of you had the misfortune of supporting President Trump. But we're going to lose the election.
All right, Diamante, thanks for that. Leaders in Social Circle continue to fight against an incoming immigration and customs facility that was recently purchased by the Department of Homeland Security. The city's manager, Eric Taylor, telling Atlanta News First that water to the warehouse purchased by DHS along East Hightower Trail has been cut off.
Oh, we'll get ice. What are we going to do? Let's turn off the water to the building, and we won't connect the... What's your grounds? What is your grounds for not connecting the water? Obviously, ICE didn't build that building. They bought it. The previous tenants or the previous owner, they had water. Why is the water turned off for ICE? Oh, that's just because we're crazy. We're libtards. So we're going to make sure you can't have water.
He says it will remain that way until DHS is able to tell leaders how water and sewer will be served without crushing the city's limited infrastructure capacity.
All right, so they're hiding behind the city managers like, you need to show us how it's not going to impact the local area water and sewage. To which point, how did it impact the water and sewage before? Well, it's a lot different. See, that was a warehouse and had employees and stuff, and these employees went home at like 5 or 6 o'clock. They weren't sleeping in there and being housed in there and pooping and peeing and drinking water all day long, and that might impact our pipes. You realize that the pipes to that kind of a facility are probably 6-inch water pipes. You're not talking about the service you get from the street to your house. Now you want to basically environmental impact, and all this is because it'll take months. Slow it down. Don't let them do what they want to do. They can't use this facility during the time they were doing these studies to make sure that the water and the poop flow.
The facility is expected to house up to 10,000 people, which would be double the population of Social Circle. And Social Circle is one of 2 cities in Georgia where the agency plans to build inmate detention centers. The other would be in Oakwood, that's in Hall County.
All right, so there's the newest roadblock they're going to put up. They're going to start suing people and saying, you don't have enough pipage and sewage to turn the water on to hold these people here. So, let's do some studies. We'll have some people come out. They'll measure everything. They'll do some mathematical counting. We'll figure out what the capacity is. Oh, you might have to put another sewer line, another water line in. Oh, you got to get a permit for that. Oh, by the way, that's going to take over and over and over. That's how bad these people are fighting, not just in Washington, but all over the country to try and screw Americans. Now, talk about screwing Americans. I'm pretty sure the next piece coming up is all about this fake hearing that the Democrats had yesterday about, Epstein.
To our lawful subpoena in a deposition. So instead, I asked Chairman Comer if he.
Did you hit him with it? I mean, I don't know how Chairman Comer would have reacted when you asked him, because he probably ducked. Oh, she meant asked. She didn't ask him? Well, that would have freaked me out if somebody axed me in the head or something. Here, let her say again what she was so hyped up. You probably missed her when she said she axed him.
County. To our lawful subpoena in a deposition. So instead, I asked Chairman Comer if he would compel her to come to our deposition. If she did not come, would he force her to, or if he would move for contempt hearings as he did for other people who did not respond to our subpoena? Instead of answering as an adult, he said that I was bitching, which is...
Oh, no. He said that you were bitching. Oh, all the liberals clutched their pearls and said, Comer said a black woman was bitching. That's racist. What do you mean? Bitching it's color agnostic. If she would take a breath and actually talk, and she's like she's on meth or something, and yeah, he said you're bitching. You're bitching.
Again, something that would not be allowed if we were operating under the rules of this committee, because engaging in personalities is actually something that we are not able to do. If C-SPAN and the public were there, I'd imagine that he would not act that way. Neither here nor there, we expected AG Bondi to be adversarial. We expected her to be confrontational. And we expected her to not offer us much information. But that's why I introduced impeachment articles, because she has already been obstructing justice. She has already weaponized the DOJ. She has already ended investigations into Trump and his allies. She has used this role essentially as one to help the president. She does not answer to the president. The DOJ does not have the right or the privilege of withholding information from an active investigation, ignoring the laws of our land, which the Epstein Transparency Act is, with our...
All right, so we're back to Epstein. Epstein ain't going away, man. We know it ain't going away because y'all keep bringing it up. It just keeps happening. These people are pathetic. There's nothing. They have not... I mean... I didn't make this stuff up tonight. This is them.
Subpoena from last July is, and the oversight Dems will continue to press for accountability. We'll continue to press for justice for survivors while also keeping them centered in this. So at the end of the day, we are still here seeking answers for women, for girls, and for the American public who has demanded justice, who have demanded answers to this.
What American people? I don't know a single person talking about Epstein. None. Not my sisters, not my friends, not people I do business with. Nobody. You see, the credibility of these people, however you think, is the fact of they're supposedly victims. I don't know, if somebody broke into my house, I would say it was him. Him. No, move. Him. Oh, yeah, but Barry, they signed NDAs. There's NDAs said that, they can't talk. If they talk, they might get sued. All right, this trillionaire who lives up the block here, drives cars, Cybertrucks. He says if you get sued, he'll cover it. Now what? A trillionaire has said, don't worry about it. If somebody tries to sue you, I'll cover it. I'll pay your legal fees. Tell us what you got. I was just checking. I'm just checking the calendar. It's March 19th, 2026. And still not one of these victims has said anything. And never mind that Trump is president now. Nobody said anything while Biden was president. Nobody said anything where Obama was president. Nobody said anything. You just keep going back. When Bush was president. But now these guys think there's a whole bunch of stuff out there that we don't know about.
And whether or not they will pretend that the documents that they've given us is enough, we already know that they have not complied. And we are asking other people to make sure that we do not let them off the hook right now. So we look forward to her on the record deposition with our committee in response to our lawful subpoena.
I just want to make some comments. We just walked out of what has been, quite frankly, complete disrespect of the process of one of our members. And quite frankly, the American public should be outraged at what is happening right now.
That's the problem. They realize the American public isn't. We don't care. It was horrible 20 years ago. I don't want everyone freaking out on me and having to get banned off the channel. It's horrible if it actually happened. And if it actually happened, whoever did whatever they did should pay the price. But why are we waiting 20-something years? Why don't you just, hey, every single one of you, if you really care about this stuff, why don't you call Tim Tebow and ask him what is happening to kids right now? Why don't you call Tom Homan as they're rounding up all these missing kids that Biden let in? You only care about these 15 women who say they're victims? What about the 100,000 kids that Tom Homan said he's caught? Kash Patel at a hearing yesterday. Yeah, we're just racking up the arrest for people who are doing it right now. It's pretty simple. That dude. You're chasing a ghost for what? Because you need something to talk about. See, they lost on this one today or yesterday. They lost badly. Why? Because it had a shelf life of about 2 hours. They're starting to realize the American people don't want to hear this.
I want to just start by saying that we opened up what was supposed to be a briefing by asking the Attorney General, which I did multiple times, if she would commit to follow the subpoena that is in place that compels her to answer questions that's under oath, transcribed, and then made available to the American people. And she refused on multiple occasions to commit to following the subpoena that Chairman Comey actually just put out.
So he's lying, and he knows you can't prove he's lying. And so what has happened is a bunch of these people left because they all showed up for the hearing. Oh, we're going to get me some Pam Bondi, but today we're going to fry Blondie. Yo, where's the television cameras? No cameras. She's here. You can ask her questions. Well, where's the cameras? I mean, we're theater kids. We can't do this without the theatrics. Yes or no? No, it doesn't work. I swear to tell the truth. I'm here. Have at it. That's why they walked out.
As a deposition, like in the way that it would if you called someone from a subpoena?
You know, it's a briefing, and it's different, but when the Democrats say, oh, there's a cover-up, well, talk about it. Ask it. There was not one question from the Democrats. There were from Republicans, and obviously the Democrats had someone secretly tape recording that in there because reporters were going into great detail about, the conversation that I had with Summer Lee. All
right, so there were no cameras, but yet somehow the audio found its way out. So you can tell the Democrats aren't, it's a charade. And yes, the Republicans did indeed ask Pam Bondi questions. It got to the Democrat side and they're like, there's no cameras. We can't do, our charades. So we're out. We're going to leave. And they just walked out because there were no cameras.
All that. So that's a violation of the rules too, but I don't care. I stand by what I said, and it's unfortunate that the Democrats, they displayed a gross lack of seriousness that's very concerning moving forward.
And so he knew exactly what they were looking for, because it took them less than 10 minutes before they even asked a single question. They looked around the room and said, "There's no cameras." And they were done. It's, some people are going to think what they want. Some people are going to come to whatever judgment that they feel is necessary, but it usually is going to hinge on your side of the aisle that you sit on. Even the people on the right, the crazy ones, they're not even talking about it anymore. It's played. The born on date. It's over. Unfortunately, if it really happened to some of these women, at this point, rip off the Band-Aid and talk. I want you guys each to know there is not a single reason why any of these women aren't talking if it really happened to them. They can no longer hide behind the fact of an NDA or something else. If so-and-so did something to you, every single woman in this chat right now, if I said somebody did something, or you said somebody did something to me when I was younger, you would have no problem going, him, that dude. And they won't talk. And so my hands off on this is like, man, if by now, 20 something years, if now you still haven't talked, I really ain't got time for you.
Identified to us, we fix them immediately.
And let me be clear on this case. This case has spanned multiple administrations. It started under Bush. It went to Obama. It went to Biden. We were the only, no documents were released, only under the Trump administration. And we released 3 million documents, had 500 attorneys working on that, complying with the law the best we could, and protecting victims in doing it.
Madam Attorney General, this has been quite an odyssey for you. This began with an encounter you had with some activists in the Roosevelt Room where you handed out some binders. Then there was a discussion, a statement that the FBI and DOJ put out that this investigation was over. Flash ahead to a couple of weeks ago, you had a very unusual appearance before the House Judiciary Committee. Do you have any regrets? Is there anything you might have done differently? And do you think that your comportment and the department's comportment in this have exacerbated the public's lack of trust in this process?
Well, let me repeat what I just said. This has spanned 4 administrations: Bush, Obama, well, Trump won, 45, where Jeffrey Epstein was prosecuted, and then Joe Biden's administration, where 0 documents were provided. We have provided 3 million documents. 3 million documents, the height of the Eiffel Tower, used 500 attorneys working around the clock, have identified, either they self-identified or through their attorneys, 1,200 victims who we did our very, very best to protect their identities. And so we're proud of the work that we've done on this. Go ahead. Next question.
Democrats on the committee walked out. They called it a, quote, fake hearing and said you were just trying to get around appearing for a deposition. Can you respond to this?
Sure.
They don't ask them those questions. Hey, you know what? I just talked to Pam Bondi. She said, you guys were looking around for cameras and it was fake. You just wanted to get some publicity. But the press, right away, it's an attack dog on Pam Bondi.
We were there to answer questions. It's the evening. We came at their convenience. We gave them as much time as they wanted. And one congresswoman screamed C-SPAN wasn't in there, so she didn't want to ask questions. Yet all day long they've been on social media saying they had all these questions. We sat there saying, anything you want to ask us, anything you want to ask us. And they screamed C-SPAN wasn't there, one of them, and then they stormed out of the meeting. So
can you just
thank you all. Thank you. Have a good night.
Contacted victims. Some victims have said they are.
It's a freak show, and it's going to continue to be a freak show, and that's all it is. All right, that's what I got for you guys tonight. I'm looking around. SV sent me something. Wait a minute. I don't know if SV still. Are you still here? I don't want to click the button if I don't see you. Hold on. Let me see if SV. Oh, he's still here. You got anything, bro?
I'm always here.
Okay.
All right. Literally 3 minutes ago, Nick Sortor posted breaking: Republican senators just attempted to call Democrats bluff and attempted to pass only the voter ID portion of the Save America Act, but Democrats blocked it.
So so wait a minute. So all the other aspects of the Save America Act, they pulled out voter ID by itself, and they wouldn't even do that, even though they had said in the news a couple times that we just don't want all the other stuff around it and we get ICE away from it. And like, okay, we'll just do voter ID, and he still said no.
They lie again. Crazy.
Man, oh man. So is anybody saying where this is going from here? I mean, I'm looking on X. I see some of the videos that are on here. Are they going to make them at this point do the standing filibuster, or is this still just a bunch of crack?
I didn't ask anybody. I had to use that.
I gotta get me a little axe here so I can.
That is funny. Here's a little bit of.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say here's a little bit of just some Trump's news. Breaking: President Trump's commemorative gold coin is approved for U.S. Mint to produce for America's 250th. They don't know the denomination yet, but it's been approved. That's pretty
interesting. Cool. Gold is down, but he's still pushing ahead with with minting gold coins, and I guess they'll be real gold too, won't they?
I believe so. He loves gold. I mean, you can see in the White House. I love his gold attire.
Yeah, and today
gold ties.
You could really see it today and where they were sitting and everything. All right, brother, go get some rest.
All right, have a good evening, everybody. Good night, Patriots.
We made it through another day. All right, let me do super chats and then we'll call it a night. I can go see Robin and hang out with the dogs for a while. Grab some din. Okay. Oh, by the way, I put up a poll and I said, should I show the new Nick Shirley video tomorrow? 85% of you have said that you want to see it. So you shall see it tomorrow when we do our show. All right, let me go ahead and get this set. Oh, wait, it's way off center. And here we go. And all right, so I think I could just need to make it a little bit smaller so you guys can see it. All right, John, how you doing? Grand jury, let's roll. Yeah, about time. Go ahead and take down Comey and the rest of them. Steve James, after World War II, Japanese military was restricted to self-defense. I think the president will lift those restrictions. No, I think we still. No, I don't think so. I don't. Why? She didn't ask for it, so I think it was a condition, and we're gonna keep it a condition. They surrendered. Groove Guy, good evening, Barry and the Fanfare crew. It's your favorite Canadian, sending you love and prayers as always. Thank you. Grizz Willow, God bless all the Christians of the world, and may God continue to bless President Trump and America. To all the liberal Democrats of the world, I echo your sentiment, but you can't use that and Jesus Christ in the same sentence, bro. Fume Drummer, I wonder if Gitmo has electric and water. I bet it does. I like your thinking on that. Go ahead and send them down there. Chiosop, Cuban about to find out what solar panels. If you weren't here early, I played a video of some liberal saying they're going to bring solar panels down to Cuba. You're going to hand solar panels to people who got no food, water, or power. What am I going to do with this thing? Oh, yeah, what it tastes like. Patty McCorder, did these left-wing windbags predict the markets were going to crash because of tariffs and the economy? Yep. Speaking of which, I'll look in a second. That's his name. Hassan Piker got to get a boat in Cuba? No food. Let's see here. Fume Drummer, thanks for presenting video that's not cable news host. I appreciate you. Thank you. Just leave me alone. You won't respond on Rumble? Bad move, Barry. You won't respond on Rumble. Tell me how I'm supposed to do that. My software doesn't integrate Rumble comments. Sorry, I don't even see them. SV moderates on that side, but I don't even see Rumble comments. I mean, just, you can see the software right here on YouTube. It doesn't import Rumble comments. So what exactly is it you want me to respond to? Let's continue. Buddy, how much money has been wasted again by Democrats on Epstein? A lot. And Neil, hello. Hi, Barry. Thank you for always being our positivity. I hate that I missed most of tonight's show. Watching on replay, God bless. Yeah, sorry. Thank you very much. And sorry for I don't know, it seemed to have calmed down after that. President Trump was speaking. So now I do have some wonder. Were they messing with us? Because as soon as he got done, smooth sailing. I don't know. I don't know. I find it odd that we didn't even have so much as a hiccup after he got done speaking. Maybe they are messing with me. I don't know. Trolls, who knows? Anyway, talk to you guys. Oh, let me just check before I go, see if they've announced tomorrow's schedule. Usually it's not until 10, but tomorrow is Friday. They may have already had it waiting. He might be on his way down here tomorrow, but hold on, let me see. Drum roll. Oh, wait, they released the whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. All right, let's start with Friday, tomorrow. Let me look and see here. The president participates in the Commander-in-Chief trophy presentation. That's usually the trophy between Army and Navy. So one of the cadets teams, the midshipmen, I think Navy won this year. I'm not sure. But whoever won that game will be at the White House at 10:30. And that is it in terms of public appearances as of right now. The 10:30 with the Commander-in-Chief trophy. Then Saturday, if you guys want to plan your days ahead of time, no public events. Sunday, as of right now, no public events. And then Monday, he has an event at 1 o'clock. The president participates with the Memphis Safe Task Force Roundtable at noon. So they already have the entire weekend scheduled up right now. And doesn't look like there's going to be much for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which could mean a whole lot. As you've seen, when he gets down here in Mar-a-Lago, that's usually when things go boom. So just because he's coming down to Florida, don't think for an instant that nothing's going to happen, because it might just happen. He likes to get away, whether he's not in the bubble up there. And then you go back and look at the calendar. Look at when things have been happening. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so we shall see. Either way, I will see you guys tomorrow. Looks like tomorrow morning. Wow. All right. Talk to you soon.
you.